Hello again. My name is Andre Joliker. I made a texture pack called Jollycraft. In the last two tutorials, I showed you the basics of the construction of the texture pack and also a quick demo of how to make some seamless textures. Now, I'm going to show you in this tutorial how to further enhance your textures just by adding details and stuff like that. So I'm going to jump over to our test texture pack, this test pack that we've been working on. Go back into our world. And this was the last one we made. We made a cobblestone texture. Pretty quick. I was just showing you how to make it seamless. So now let's add some nice details just to make it nice and crisp. Let's jump back over to Photoshop. Alright, here's my cobblestone texture. I'm going to isolate this. There we go. Now when I work on textures and I start adding details, I like to work on them nice and big. Treat it like a giant 16 by 16 painting or something. You just want to get it nice and big and treat your drawing tools as just large paintbrushes that are kind of cumbersome to work with. But if you think about it in that way, you'll kind of think more painterly about the entire texture as a whole. So here I am. I'm going to start. Let's start by adding just some shadows. Now, going to darken that, so that's our shadow. Now, when I paint in Photoshop, I like to use opacity settings. So I'm just going to set the opacity at maybe 20%. There we go. Start subtle, and you can just start layering it over and over. You're going to see a big honking cursor. That's just the screen capture program that I'm using. My Photoshop cursor is actually nice and small, just so you know. It's not actually how it looks for me in Photoshop. Just going to go around to each one of these stones and add a shadow underneath it. Don't spend too much time on it in your first pass because it won't look good no matter what you do, no matter how much time you spend on it. So just get the basics done, soften the edges, add your shadows, whatever it is you're going for, and we'll refine it further in the next couple steps. Okay, that's starting to feel pretty good as a single texture. Now, obviously, since this is a seamless texture, we need to always be thinking in a seamless direction. So every now and then, you're going to want to tile it, see how it looks seamlessly. That's looking pretty good already. Nothing particularly awkward about it. There's no visible seams. Let's add some highlights now. Going to use that technique of just taking a 16 by 16 area. You can take any area, and it'll remain seamless. I'm going to take this area right here. There we go. And I'm going to add some highlights using the same method. I'm just going to take a nice bright color and a nice low opacity for my brush. Maybe even put it at 10% there, and just start painting with it. Add some nice subtle highlights to this. Make some of these stones brighter than others because variation is nice. Thinking about the texture as a whole, how it'll look when it's tiled. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Let's see how it looks seamlessly. That's looking pretty darn good, at least for this sample. Alright, so I'm going to take a chunk of that. There we go. That's going to be my new cobblestone. I'm going to replace the old one. Merge these layers. Save the file. I'm going to jump back over. Drop my new terrain.png with the edited texture into my texture pack. Zip. Then when that's done, I can select the zip and see how it looks in the game. There we are. You can see there's lots more detail than was there before, and it's actually that looks pretty good already. So you can use this to add a little bit of depth to your simple textures. It's a good idea to start simply just to make sure your seamlessness works properly, and your basic color palette needs to work between all your textures. And once you've nailed that, you can jump in and start adding these kind of nice details. So I hope this helps, and enjoy.